Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Palazzo. Let's check it out. Setup for the game is extremely simple. What you're going to do is shuffle each one of these tiles, the 1, 2, and 3 tiles. You'll be grabbing from the 1 tiles first, and then 2, and then 3. But you also place out 1 in every area and 1 in the center. You'll start this man anywhere on the outside board, and then you're ready to go. Now, you're going to draw 4 money cards for each player. Money cards come in different colors, and sometimes this one, which is a wild card. There's also this one. This is a cardboard card here, really thick cardboard one. This is for bidding. So the game is really simple. There's just a few actions you can do. One of your actions is just to draw more money cards. Now when you do this, you draw as many cards as there are players in the game. So for instance, for a 4-player game, I would draw 4 cards. Now I can take as many cards, and this kind of sucks here, as there are the same color or the same denomination. So I could take both of these 3s, in fact, or maybe I could take this 7 and maybe the wild card, since it goes for everything. I don't know. I don't think you can take the wild card though. I think you can just take the 7. So it's your call. But once you do that, then all the other players will get to take what's next. It goes to player 2 and player 3. So at least a few other players may get, each player may get 1 card, but some players may only get just a few, or 1 or 2. And it's very rare that you would get all of them, especially in a 4-player game. Maybe more common in a 2-player game. Now this is really awesome. I'll explain why when I get to my final review. But anyway, that's one of the actions you can do, is just grab more money. And you're going to have to be doing that in the game. Another action you can do is start bidding on a tile. And what you'll do is you'll take 2 tiles here from the 1 stack. You'll place 1 in the center, and then this other one, you're going to count the windows on it. See, this has 1, 2 windows. That's a door there, so it only has 2 windows. So then I go, starting from wherever he is, I go 1, 2, and place it there. And then I do 1 of 2 things. I can move him clockwise to the next tile, and then we can start a bidding war on that tile. So this is the tile I want. I start a bidding war on it. Well, you automatically, whoever starts the bidding gets this first bid. This first bid is a 3. So it's basically $3 on them. So I start off with a 3. One player goes, you know what, I'll see that 3 and I'll pay 4. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I better up my game. So I'm going to say 8. Well, eventually, someone's going to, whoever player's going to give up, and they're going to give it to whoever won it. Everyone loses their money though. Whatever they bid, all money gets lost. And of course this goes kind of back to the bank, and then first player will pick that. Now if it's in a case where there are multiple tiles, whoever bid will split that pile. So for instance, first player takes this one, and let's say only 2 people bid in a 4-player game, so second player would take that one, and then first player who won the bid would take a third one, like that. Now when you take these, you can build them. You're building them on top of other tiles, but they have to be on top of a tile that's higher than the previous number. So if you see down here, I have a 1 on top of a 2, which is fine, that's allowed. But what I couldn't do is, I can even put this 2 down here to start a floor. I could do that if I wanted to, but I couldn't do a 1 on top of a 1, or a 1 on top of a 2. It always has to be a higher number than the lower number, because they stack on top of each other. Again, it doesn't have to be the same color, but you would get more points if they match. So that's basically how you go building. Now what if you get one that you don't even want? You're like, man, I don't want this, let's say later on I got a 4, I don't want this 4. It doesn't fit on anything, let's say. You have to keep it. Even if it's just to start another building, you have to keep it. You can't just chuck it. You can do that on a separate turn, but not during a bid war. Once you get something, it's yours. That's how bidding goes. Now, if you don't want to bid, instead, you can just go toward the middle. Let me throw another one in here. You just go toward the middle instead of do a bid. And of course, the man would stay right there. He wouldn't ever go to the middle. But at any time, let me back this up again so you can see it. You can go toward the middle instead of bidding in the next one, which we did a bid here. But let's say this time around they grab 2 more tiles. 1 goes in the middle. This one has 3 windows. 1, 2, 3, and there he goes. So he can go and start bidding for this. But no, he wants to buy something. So he's going to go in the middle and buy something. The cost of those tiles are the number that's in there minus 10. So for instance, there's 4 in here. So 10 minus 4 is 6. Each one of these costs 6. And he can buy as many as he wants as long as he has the money to pay for it. And so he can buy them and then build them up. So let's say he wanted just this one maybe, and he just built it right there and started his second type of tower. Okay, later on in the game they can do something to change things up a little bit here. For instance, let's say that this is how my towers looked like. All right, as you see here, I have a 1 and a 3, and then later on I got this 2. Oh man, and let's say they're all the same color here. Man, I really wish I could have put that 2 inside here, but I couldn't, because I just won this tile, and now I have to start a new one to it because I can't slip it in the middle there. Not on that action you can't, but anytime if you don't want to grab money, you don't want to bid or buy a tile, you can discard any money card in your hand, doesn't matter what denomination, and then it's called reconstruct. And for reconstructing, I can split these two and push this one in between, but that counts as my turn there. Another thing you can do, if you do not want to have another one, you can just destroy it. That's another turn you can do. Again, you just throw a money cube away and destroy a 1 tower building if you want to. There's a reason to do that. Later on, I'll talk about in-game points, how they're scored. So those are your 4 actions there. Destroy, reconstruct, you can bid or buy, and then the first one I talked about was grab money cards. Now, the game will keep going through the 1 stack, then through the 2 stack, then through the 3 stack. But while you're grabbing through the 3 stack, there are these mosaic tiles that you're shuffling into the 3s. You don't know when you get it. And slowly, it is going to form a little mosaic here. But once you complete that mosaic, the game ends immediately. So you may not make it through all these tiles. Once that last mosaic, that last tile is played, that's the end of the game. So that's the last turn. And then you're going to count up all the buildings you have. And this is where it gets really cool, because they give you this little cheat sheet. There's 4 of these in the game. And it says, hey, if you just have a 1 tower, it's worth -5 points. That's why you want to destroy some of those -1s. You don't want to be caught with -5 points in the game. If you have a 2 tower thing, doesn't matter if the colors match or not, it's worth 0 points. If you have a 3 tower, great. You got a flat 6 victory points. Doesn't matter if they match or not. But what happens if they do match? Well, if you have 3 towers of all the same type, it's a +3 plus the number of windows. So for this one, you see, we count the windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because they're all the same type, +3, so that's an 8 victory pointer. Very simple. This one's a 13 pointer. Why? It says, hey, you got all the same type, so that's a +3 because it's all the same type. Plus, it does have windows. So that's worth 6 victory points right now. So then we add the windows. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yay! But if it's a 4 of a type time, wow, you're going to get 6 points for it being all the same type, and then 6 points because it has windows. It's automatically a 12. So then we have to count the windows. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whoa. So that's kind of how you count the points. It's very easy to count up points in this game. And of course, whoever has the most points wins. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, this is one of the games I wanted to play at BGG SpringCon, but sadly they canceled the convention, so then I couldn't play it. And I sat there going, well, it only costs like 10, 15 bucks. I got this one for 10. I was like, for 10 bucks, oh well, I just lost lunch money, right? If I buy it. So I bought it and tried it out, and I'm glad I have it. It belongs in my collection. I knew it should, but I wanted to play it first, but oh well. For only 10 bucks, you can take that risk. Even 15, it's worth it for 15 if that's all you can find it for. This is a very fun game. I do like it. One of the things I really love about it, the game would have been broken for that getting money action. Because if you're getting money and you're the only one getting money, then why would you do any other action, right? Because anytime a player puts up a bid, you're the one with all the money. No, because when you grab the action, it's not that powerful. When you grab money cards, of course you're getting first pick, which makes it good to have, but you're giving money to other players. And the thing is, you don't always take the higher denomination, because I've had times where I'm like, well, I got all red cards, and even though there's a 1 red card for 4, I don't need this white one for 7. Because I don't have any white cards. That's not going to help me on my bidding, because you can only bid cards of the same color or the same amount on there. So, I want all red. So I'm going to take the lower. And a lot of us took the lower value just because it matched a lot of the colors that we had already in our pile, because you want those to get the highest bid. You can't switch colors on your highest bid. Again, it does make that grabbing money card and how you bid, how you can only bid with the exact number or the exact color, of a card really helps mitigate the power of picking money instead of just picking money the whole time and not playing the game at all. So I really, really like that. I really like how it does benefit other players. Even though maybe you're getting them lesser cards, like a lot of people are taking the money action. I ended up getting a card that obviously no one had a color on. And even though I had lower scoring cards, I was still able to outbid a lot of people because everyone was taking the money action, grabbing one card, where I was grabbing, you know, well, one or two as well, but I already had a bigger supply than they did. So it does balance out. It doesn't favor the person with the most money is not always going to win. However, it was really fun. I like that dynamic. The game plays very well. It's a very simple game, as you saw, and it is a lot of fun. At first, we had a little problems understanding how to score the card, but now that you see how, and you read the instructions, but it's kind of simple on that little base card there, how the buildings are scored. Anyway, it is a fun little game. Doesn't really scale well to 2 players. You're looking at 3, 4 players is where it's really fun, but 2-player, not really that good of a 2-player game. Kind of a snooze if it's a 2-player game, but at other player links 3 and 4, I enjoyed it. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until then, game on.